Welcome to Thriving with your host, Dr. Mike Corral. Join the conversation as Mike looks at everything that is essential to optimal living. Coach Mike will discuss what happens when we integrate the functions of the body, heart, and mind, and how they impact our quality of life and general well-being. He'll also examine the distinct areas of life that are impacted by the way individuals care for their bodies, hearts, and minds, and how they interact with each other to allow them to thrive. So now, please welcome the host of Thriving, Dr. Mike Corral.
Welcome back to Thriving. I'm Coach Mike, and I'm honored that you're here today. Last week, we began uncovering your clarity, the truths inside you that have been waiting to be acknowledged. Today, we're going to take the next. Today, we're turning that clarity into direction and letting that direction evolve into purpose. But before we begin, let's get started. Let's get centered and grounded with our weekly coaching ritual. And I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose, allow your shoulders to relax, release the capacity. Allow your eyes to close as you exhale. One more time. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale with gratitude for everything that is working well in your life and the things that you're doing. Relax. Nice. So now let's take a moment to revisit what clarity really is, what it truly means for you as a client. Okay, clarity, it's that sense of inner knowing within yourself, the moment when things become unmistakably clear for you. It's when you recognize what matters most, and you begin to see your values, the things that are important to you. You begin to see your needs, your truths, your focus. Now it's clear for you to understand these things, what you need. So this happens, clarity emerges after honest reflection. It does. So we're going to do an exercise, and I'm going to help you to remember how to do this whenever you need to get clarity, okay? So you need to give yourself the time and the respect to sit in a quiet place, in the privacy of your own heart, and knowing that no one can interrupt your thoughts or your feelings. No one can judge your thoughts or feelings. It's just you. And take this time and this opportunity to give yourself full disclosure. One more time. Give yourself full disclosure. So let's practice this so that when you're ready, you can do this, and you can find a quiet, private place where you can dive deep and inquire deep within yourself to find out your truth, to get that clarity that you need without fear, without shame, without hesitation. Okay? So let's practice. I want you to imagine, first of all, that you're the parent. Okay? Not the parents you're familiar with, probably, but you as the parent. Imagine yourself, you're the ideal. The kind of parent that raises their child with love and kindness, with the joy, with the sense of pride that they're developing, with the parental support, a parent that's excited to support you, that is thrilled over discovering what your skills are, what your interests are. A parent that loves to listen to, that loves to listen to to your heart desires, and listen to the things that are bothering, things you're afraid of, things you're ashamed of, things you desire, things you're looking forward to, things you wish would happen. The good parent is there with you to listen, to guide you, to keep you. And then picturing and the feeling in your heart what it's like to be that parent. Now, what I want you to do, just imagine you're now the child. That's right. Now you're the child. You're the child that loves your parent. You're the child that trusts your parent implicitly, that finds comfort, that enjoys the company of your parent when you feel safe, when you feel you can say anything that troubles you. You can say anything you're afraid of. You can apologize for things you did wrong and know that you're being forgiven, know that you're being comforted, and you'll be held accountable with love, with strength, with authority. That kind of parent is always a comfort to be with. Knowing that you can say anything and not be afraid. Knowing that they'll come up with the right answer, they'll have the understanding of how it feels to be you, to be in your situation. You're that child. That's you. Take a moment, close your eyes, feel how it feels to be that child, that kind of parent. That's right. Very good. So now, when you're ready, I want you to find that place, find that time, and go there. And tell that parent everything they need to know about you. The things that you're afraid of, the things that you aspire to do, the things that you want to become, the things that have gotten in your way. Everything you can tell them. So when you go there, you can discover your truth. You go there without fear, without shame, so that nothing gets blocked, nothing gets clouded, without hesitation, so time doesn't pass over. So imagine that you're the parent now. Again, you're the parent and you're the child, and you can say anything. What happens is this is going to allow you to help identify the things that you can no longer ignore. Identify the things that are obvious. Things will become obvious that weren't obvious before. And you can acknowledge them with certainty, with safety, with comfort, and clarity. That's the clarity there. This is the foundation that allows you to move from uncertainty to a purposeful direction, guiding your next steps in a way that feels authentic, in a way that feels aligned with who you are, not with who people think you are, not with who people want you to be, not with what you're told to be or supposed to be, who you are. Okay? Very good. So now, clarity is the knowing. Direction is the choosing. Purpose is the meaning that emerges when you consistently choose what aligns with your clarity. Okay? Think of your clarity as a laser beam, very straight, right? Your direction is like another laser beam, parallel laser beam. So parallel that when you pull them together and they are perfectly aligned, it looks like one laser beam, but it's a laser beam with volition. Okay? Power behind it. Purpose is the meaning that emerges when you consistently choose what aligns with your clarity. Your direction aligns with your clarity. Your purpose emerges. Then you get to understand, oh, so this is why I'm doing this. Oh, so this is why I'm going in this direction. That purpose will fuel your passion. Once you know your why, your how, and your what will become more clear, a lot more clear. And so you want to get that passion to build up because that's going to be your driving force. Passion is the kind of thing that drives you to the point where if everything ended, if you had nothing else to do, no other choice, this would be what you would do. Your choice. It's your ultimate choice. It's the kind of job that you would do anyway, even if you didn't get paid for it. Kind of duty you would do anyway, even if nobody told you you had to, because it comes from within, because you care about it, because you want to do it, because you know where, how, why, and what to do. That's where your passion will come from. And your passion will fuel your purpose. So I want you to reflect a second and think about what clarity emerged for you right after you did part one, after last week, after that exercise. What came up? What did you become clear about? What truths surfaced? What true things came to the surface that you can no longer ignore about yourself? And of those things, what things are unchangeable? What things are impossible for you to change? You can't get taller, you can't get shorter, you can't change the color of your eyes. Those are the things that you embrace. Those are the things that you work with. What about the truths of you that are changeable, that you can change? Which of those things need to change? Explore that a little bit more down the road. I want you to notice right now what feels different inside you. Now that all of that truth about you has come to the surface, what feels different inside you right now? Beautiful. Acknowledge that. It's not always comfortable to notice the truth, but you can handle that. It's your truth, nobody else. Sometimes clarity disrupts our life, it interrupts things, especially the things that you've been tolerating, that you've been putting up with. And sometimes clarity allows you to step into a bigger vision, an enhanced version, into the edit, the version that you want. We'll explore more. We'll come back. We're going to do what your clarity is asking. Don't go.
Mike Zorich, a 3 three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
And welcome back. So now you've got to experience, you've had a chance to experience what clarity looks like and feels like. It can be a little bit unsettling because you learn things that you probably overlooked in the past. You discovered things that you might want to correct, things you might want to enhance. You probably discovered things that you want to embrace a little bit more, you want to lean into a little bit more than before. All of these things are the result of having that clarity. And so now that clarity is speaking to you, you want to follow it. You want to go in the direction that it's leading you. It's going to be hinting to you, okay? And so now we're moving towards direction. Direction is not a big sign that says, follow me here. It's not a big lightning bolt, or it's nothing like that. What direction is, and it's not a 5-year plan either. Here's what you're going to do next. Yeah. It's not a rigid map. It's not, first turn here, then turn there. It's not like that. You're not going to know sometimes what to do next until you get to a certain point. So you're not going to know too many things in advance. You might have the vision of where you're going to go, but you're not going to get much more advanced than that. Direction is actually a trajectory, and like I explained before, like a laser beam. If you're off with the laser beam just a little bit, the ultimate direction is going to be miles apart from the one that veers off at just the slightest angle. It's a trajectory, and that's a movement towards alignment. We're looking for alignment here. We're looking to integrate all of the parts of you so that you're properly aligned, and so you can pursue coherence, sticking yourself together, keeping yourself together, integrated in integrity. That's what we're looking for, integrity. To be able to have integrity, to live in integrity, you need to know who you are, where you're going, and why, what your purpose is, and how you're going to do it, along with what exactly you're going to do. And that'll all come. So now that you know what direction is not, it's not a map, it's not a practical plan, it's a trajectory. It emerges from your values. And what are your values? It's what's most important to you, the non-negotiables about your life. the things that hold the most value for you. For some people, it's all about their faith. It's all about their spirituality. For other people, it's all about their physical health, their fitness. For others, it's all about their finances, becoming successful. For everybody, it's going to be something a little bit different. But your values are important to you, and those are the only values you need to be concerned about right now. Direction emerges from values, and it's reinforced by your identity, by who you are. Who you are is going to reinforce the direction that you're going. You ever heard somebody say, why aren't you doing this? Why don't you join us? Well, that's just not you. Absolutely right. You know what your nature is like, what's in your nature to do, to not do. Okay? That's your identity. And it becomes clearer through action. Your direction becomes clearer, your identity becomes clearer the more you take action. Okay? So let's regroup, revisit a couple of things. Now, ask yourself, what do I know about myself that I didn't know before? This is your clarity, okay? Identifying your clarity. What do I know now about myself that I didn't know before? Being perfectly honest, being honest with myself, what do I know? Got it? Good. Now I want you to name the desire. What direction feels alive and energizing and meaningful to you? That drive. What do you want? Your wants are tied to your values, what's important to you. That's your desire. Okay? Now, remove the noise, remove the chatter, remove the distractions. Okay? If your emotions are distracting you, if fear or sadness or hurt or any negative emotions are distracting you, imagine if the fear was gone, what would you choose? If I wasn't so afraid, what would I do? If I wasn't so sad, what would I do? If I wasn't so angry, what would I do? What would you choose? Not what everybody's saying, what they think you should do. That's not your heart speaking to you. You're not a people pleaser. You're not someone who lives for everyone else and neglects yourself. You're not that kind of person. You're the kind of person who knows what you want and is discovering where you're going, along with why you're going. Right? So now choose your direction. Choose one direction. What's the direction your future self is pointing you towards? Your future self. Here's a hint. Remember that parent that you loved? Remember how it felt to be that parent with your child that you love? With all your forgiveness? With all your joy? With your sense of pride for who they're becoming? Your future self is very, very much like that. That's right. The full edit, the enhanced version of you. That's your future self. Think about that. All the corrections have been made. And now it's a dynamic change that takes place. Ongoing growth, ongoing performance, ongoing excellence. That's your future self. Believe it. Ask future self? What direction are you pointing me toward? That's right. Very good. So now, what does what direction feels most aligned for you? What would it look like for you to take a few steps more forward in that same direction? What would this week look like for you if you moved in that direction? Towards what you're made for, towards the thing that you become to do, the thing you built for. What is that? What does it look like? What direction will it take you this week? Ask yourself. Okay, good. Now that you've chosen your direction, let's talk about how your purpose begins to emerge. Your purpose is revealed as you move in the direction that is aligned with your clarity. You're clear about who you are, and you're clear about the direction that you're moving in. Your purpose won't be revealed completely until you've taken a few strides in that direction, until you're moving in that direction at a cadence that feels natural, at a rate, at a pace that feels natural for you. And that pace, that cadence, builds your confidence. And that pace, that cadence, that confidence has a ripple effect. It affects people, it affects situations, it vibrates at a frequency that everyone and everything will experience, whether they can identify it or not, whether they can recognize it, acknowledge it or not. Your direction, your cadence, your pace is altering everything around you in ways that you can't even notice. At quantum levels. You didn't know that. Even your heartbeat does that. 15 feet from you, your heartbeat has a frequency that affects people, whether you say anything or not. So now you get to put yourself in charge of that effect. Now you get to be at cause. Now you get to be the person deciding the trajectory of your life. You get to be the one who chooses what's right for you, what's not right for you, what brings you joy, what brings you fulfillment. Wow, that felt good. I'm going to do some more of that. You know what it is. There are certain things that have distracted you throughout your past, and you never knew why. But the moment you paid attention to them, things began to settle in you. Things began to feel right. I like this. This is cool. I wish I could do more of this. Until you're distracted by the humdrum door. What is it? What's calling your attention? What's driving your curiosity? What is it that's intriguing you right now? The minute you follow that, the minute you acknowledge that and pay attention and move in that direction and create a pace, a cadence, and even some speed and take massive action in that direction, that's when your purpose will reveal itself. Think about that. I'll talk more about it when we come back.
Master of words, powerful player, What life-changing words can Dr. Janet Smith Warfield pull out of her magical toolbox that just might mysteriously open a door you never knew was there? A door to free yourself from fear forever. Transform your rage into right action. Release your guilt. Position you into a life of freedom, purpose, passion, power, and peace. All quite suddenly, unexpectedly, and almost miraculously, with no effort on your part. Join Dr. Janet on Dancing with Words, Dancing with Wisdom, as she and her guests show you how words map our experiences, immersing you in a sound bath that relaxes your muscles, opens your mind, and supports you in co-creating your extraordinary life. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
And welcome back. So now that you've chosen a direction with clarity, now we can build momentum. When you build momentum using your direction and your clarity perfectly aligned, what begins to form is your purpose. You begin to see the reason why. You can begin to see how you're made to do what you're doing and what effects it's going to have. All right, so now that you're moving at a good pace, you're building up momentum, you need to allow yourself to discover your true identity and align it with your direction and your clarity to find your purpose. Okay, so your purpose, it's not going to be a lightning bolt either, not a big flash of light saying this is why you're here. It's not going to be like that. Purpose is the meaning that flows when you consistently follow your plan. That's powerful. Did you get it? Purpose is the meaning that forms when you consistently follow your clarity. You get clear, you follow it consistently. You build a cadence, you build a pace, you build coherence. That's going to reveal your purpose. So now, you don't need to know your purpose to be able to begin. You need to discover your purpose by beginning. We walk by faith, not by sight. You don't need to know everything before you go. You need to build momentum. You need to build strength and volition to allow the purpose to be revealed. Sounds kind of backward, but trust me, it's the way it happens. You don't need to know your purpose to begin. You discover your purpose by beginning. Okay? So direction is chosen by the person you are becoming, not the person that you've been. The person that you've been is what caused you to come here today, to learn how to know where to go, to get the clarity, to get the direction, to find the purpose. That's in the past. Now we're moving towards your higher self, your better self, who you are becoming. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? Seriously, do that right now. That's right. Very good. So, what qualities, ask yourself, what qualities does this person I'm becoming have? Notice I said have as if it's already there. I didn't say gonna have. What qualities does that person give you in the body to say have? Does that person have? Now, what choices does that version of you make? This is key here because now your choices are going to be a little bit different from the ones that you used to make. The patterns, the kinds of choices you're making now may even be radically different from the kinds of choices you used to make. Notice that you used to settle for a lot more. You used to tolerate a lot of things until you decided to be your authentic self, until you discovered your true nature, until you discovered who you are, right? So now, what choices does the edited version of you make? What choices does that person make? What was the shift from your old identity to the emerging you? Good. So now I want you to think a little bit. Think about what feels meaningful to you right now. This is a big thing. Sure, you could do a lot of things. You could make a lot of money. You could do great things, become very popular. You can be very influential if you want to. There's a lot of things that you can do, given what you've learned and what you know right now. Tons of things that you can do. But what feels meaningful to you? What feels significant? When I was a kid, my brother and I used to have contests because we both learned how to belch on cue. Sounds gross, right? And we would sit there having contests to see who could do it the most and who could do it the longest. Was that meaningful? Kids do stuff. When we're kids, we think like kids. But now that we're grown folks, we put away the childish things. It's meaningful to you nowadays. What kinds of things are you leaning into nowadays? What do you feel a pull toward contribution, towards growth, towards impact? That's right. Adult things. You're going to notice that you feel compelled to do things that you didn't do as a younger person. You feel compelled to be more helpful, to be more contributive, to be, stronger, supportive. From reason. That's significant. What part of your life feels like it wants to expand? What part of you wants to grow? Think about that. You're learning all the time. We're always learning, and we will always be growing until we transcend this domain, until we transcend the body part of us. At which point our energy will just continue to move and leave this part of us behind. So, for right now, think about what part of your life feels like it wants to expand. Now, let's go back to your clarity, your direction, your emerging purpose, and do it with momentum. You might be discovering why you're here right now. Oh, I was meant to do this. I love the way people respond to me. I love the changes that I'm creating. I love the impact that I have. It renews me. It renews my soul to have a positive impact on humanity and the world. It makes me feel good to offer something that somebody needs. It makes me feel good to be a contributing member of society, to be a friend to someone, to be a mentor to someone. It feels good. It's supposed to build momentum. The reason why it feels good is because it's meant to build momentum. Do it more, do it faster, more consistent. So you want to be able to here's the momentum formula. Okay? Clarity gives you direction. Right? Direction gives you action. Action gives you identity and purpose. And your purpose will build momentum. That's right. Your purpose will help you build momentum. Momentum is built through small, aligned actions. It's not all one thing all at once. That's like buckshot. It's more like laser beam. Aligned actions that build momentum. When everything is properly aligned, things run smoother. When everything is in integrity, think about it like a car or bicycle. When all the working parts are working together, they're whole, they're complete, working together, you have that effectiveness. And purpose strengthens through repetition. You get to enjoy the effectiveness that you have when you have purpose. And your direction becomes clearer and clearer with your purpose. The more you walk in it, right? The more you keep it aligned. So now you know momentum is not speed. It's power built upon power. Momentum, it's consistency, coherence, moving forward at a graduated pace. Graduated coherence. So we're going to do a quick exercise. I want you to give a name to your clarity. Okay? Think of a brief name. It could be a kind, it could be strong. A one-word name to your clarity, right? A strong person, a kind person, a living person. Give a name to clarity. Beautiful. Okay? Now name your chosen direction. Right? Your chosen direction. Moving forward. Right? Now name the identity that you're stepping into. The identity that you're stepping into. When we come back, we'll put that all together. Choose one aligned action for the next 24 hours. We'll put all those together. When we come back, don't go away. I'll show you what it looks like.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Master of words, powerful player. What life-changing words can Dr. Janet Smith Warfield pull out of her magical toolbox that just might mysteriously open a door you never knew was there? A door to free yourself from fear forever. Transform your rage into right action. Release your guilt. Position you into a life of freedom, purpose, passion, power, and peace. All quite suddenly, unexpectedly, and almost miraculously, with no effort on your part. Join Dr. Janet on Dancing with Words, Dancing with Wisdom, as she and her guests show you how words map our experiences, immersing you in a sound bath that relaxes your muscles, opens your mind, and supports you in co-creating your extraordinary life.
Welcome back. Okay, so now here is an example of what it's going to look like to do those 4 things. And it could be a little bit different for you, but this is to give you an idea of what it looks like. First of all, name your clarity. It could be, I feel energized and purposeful at work, focusing on projects that align with my values. Okay? Now, name your chosen direction. I choose to move forward towards leadership roles where I can make a positive impact and mentor others. Okay. It could be I choose to be creative and create things that benefit the world. Okay. Now, name the identity you're stepping into. I am becoming a proactive leader who inspires and supports my team. Or I am becoming a creative artist who inspires and supports people. Okay, number 4, choose one aligned action for the next 24 hours. This is important, okay? I'm going to reach out to a colleague and offer support and volunteer to lead our next team meeting. Those are actionable items that you have decided for yourself, and you've given yourself alignment, you've given yourself, using your clarity, using your direction, alignment, you are revealing your identity by doing all of this. Okay? So you don't need to change everything. That's important. You do one thing at a time. You just need to honor your clarity with one step at a time. Okay? So now, here are some things for you to ponder over this next week, during next week. First of all, before I even go into that, I want you to make sure that if you're getting something from this, that you like and subscribe to this channel, okay? And I want you to please comment. Tell me what comes up for you when we're going through these exercises. Tell me what happens, what things are triggered, okay? So now, for this next week, I want you to do this. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Write this down. What do I truly want? The list could be big. Shoot for 100 things on that list. What do I truly want? Number 2, who am I becoming? And be brutally honest with yourself, because this will help you to change the trajectory of your life if you don't like what you're becoming. Number 3, what is one aligned step that I can take today. One thing that I can do today that I can build momentum with. Okay? Very good. So now, I want you to know that your clarity is your compass. That's what's going to show your direction. It's going to be moving. Okay? Your clarity will become clearer, or brighter, but if you become distracted, you'll lose clarity. You want to stay focused. Your direction is your path. And sometimes you only know one step at a time. Sometimes you have to do it with guidance, and you have to do it by faith, without seeing, taking one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other with full belief. You have to have that full belief. Okay. Also, your purpose is the meaning that emerges as you walk in it, in that direction. Your purpose is the meaning that emerges when you walk in that direction. Okay? Keep moving forward. You're becoming someone extraordinary. That's right. Keep moving forward. You're becoming someone extraordinary. I want you to give yourself a pat on the back. I want you to comfort yourself. I want you to take the time to be kind to yourself. When the truth, your inner truth comes out, look at it with kindness. Look at it with support. Look at it as someone with love and wisdom. Because your unconscious mind, your heart already knows where you're going. Your unconscious mind is very, very familiar with your future self. But it's been buried inside your heart for so long, for so many years. It's been buried and covered up, camouflaged. And now that you've uncovered it, now that it's clear, you need to be reassured. So reassure yourself. Trust in your highest power. Trust in your Creator. And give thanks for who you are, for who you're becoming, why you're here. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Bye-bye.
This has been Thriving with host Dr. Mike Corral. Listen each week as Coach Mike will talk with guest experts in the areas of physical, mental, and spiritual health to help us dive deeper into those topics and share their insight and expertise on how anyone can thrive regardless of circumstances and perceived limitations. Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern.